Well, come to my channel, Stoic Tips, subscribe to help the channel grow. Did you know that women process emotions differently than men? And no, it's not just because of society. What if I told you that understanding a few key psychological facts could totally shift how you view relationships, communication, and even yourself? Stick around, because by the end of this video, you'll see women and life in a whole new light. Let's start with a little reminder about Stoicism. It's not just about staying calm when life gets hard or enduring pain without complaint. True Stoicism is about understanding people, the world around us, and learning to move through it all with wisdom. Today, we're diving into 29 eye-opening psychological facts about women, facts that will not only surprise you, but also help you connect on a deeper level. Whether you're a man hoping to better understand the women in your life, or a woman seeking more insight into your own psychology, this is for you. By the end, you'll see why Stoicism and psychology make a powerful combo. Let's be real, relationships can get messy. Misunderstandings, unmet expectations, miscommunications, they create tension. But what if much of that tension came from not really understanding how women think and feel? The ancient Stoics knew the importance of understanding human nature. Marcus Aurelius once said, "When you wake up in the morning, tell yourself, the people I deal with today will be meddling, ungrateful, arrogant, dishonest, jealous, and surly." But he didn't stop there. He also reminded us, they are this way because they cannot tell good from evil. In other words, understanding others is the first step toward peace. So, what if we applied that same logic to understanding women? What if bridging the gap between how men and women think, feel, and communicate could reduce conflict and create stronger, more fulfilling relationships? That's exactly what we're doing today. Fact number 1, women remember emotional details more vividly. Here's something fascinating. Women tend to remember emotional details more than men. And no, it's not a stereotype. It's backed by science. Studies show that women's brains are wired to process emotions more deeply, which means they're more likely to remember not just what happened, but how it felt. So, if you had an argument 5 years ago, she might still recall exactly what was said and how it made her feel. Men, on the other hand, are more likely to remember the facts of the situation, but not the emotional impact. What does this mean for relationships? Simple. Acknowledge her feelings. Don't brush them off. Even saying, "I can understand why you'd feel that way," can go a long way. And this is where Stoicism comes in again. When you choose to understand instead of react, you're not just being kind. You're practicing real Stoic wisdom. Fact number 2, women are more likely to seek emotional support. Here's another powerful insight. Women are more likely to seek emotional support when going through tough times. This doesn't mean they're weaker, it means they deal with stress differently. While men might try to solve the problem in silence or retreat into themselves, women are often more likely to talk things through, to seek comfort and connection. Now, if you follow Stoicism, you might be tempted to tough it out and avoid showing vulnerability. But here's the truth. Seeking support isn't weakness. It's wisdom. Even the Stoics believed in community, perspective, and connection as part of a resilient life. Stoicism isn't about suppressing emotions. It's about understanding them and learning how to respond with intention instead of impulse. Epictetus once said, "It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters." So, when a woman in your life is going through a tough time, don't rush to offer solutions. Sometimes what she really needs is someone who simply listens. By showing up with presence and compassion, you're not just supporting her, you're practicing a core Stoic virtue, empathy rooted in wisdom. Fact number 3. Women are more tuned in to nonverbal cues. Here's something you might not realize. Women are more likely to notice nonverbal communication. That means she's probably picking up on your tone of voice, your body language, and the subtle shifts in your expression, even if you don't say a word. So, if you're trying to hide your emotions, she already knows this is where Stoic honesty comes in. As someone who values truth and integrity, don't bury your feelings. Own them. It might feel uncomfortable at first, but being open builds real trust. Seneca once said, "A guilty conscience is a hidden enemy." In other words, hiding your truth creates inner tension. If a woman senses something's off, don't brush it aside. Be honest, and you'll strengthen the bond between you. Fact number 4. Women are more effective at multitasking. Yes, it's true. Women tend to multitask more effectively than men. Their brains are better wired to switch between tasks, which is why you'll often see them juggling work, family, and social life without dropping the ball. But here's the Stoic insight. Just because someone can do everything doesn't mean they should have to. As a Stoic, you value balance and moderation. So if you notice a woman in your life carrying too much, offer support. Not to rescue her, but to stand beside her as a true partner. Marcus Aurelius said, "What is not good for the hive is not good for the bee." In other words, when the people around us are overwhelmed, we all feel it. Support isn't a favour, it's mutual strength. Fact 5. Women are more likely to experience anxiety and depression. Let's talk about something important. Women are statistically more likely to experience anxiety and depression. This doesn't mean men don't struggle. They absolutely do. But research shows women are more likely to seek help, which is why they're diagnosed more often. And here's where Stoicism meets empathy. It's not about saying, "toughen up," or "it's all in your head." That's not strength. It's dismissal. True Stoic strength lies in listening without judgment. Epictetus said, "We have 2 ears and 1 mouth so that we can listen twice as much as we speak." So, if a woman in your life is struggling, don't try to fix her. Just be present. Sometimes being there is enough. Fact number 6. Women often prioritize emotional intimacy. Here's a truth that might shift how you approach relationships. Women often value emotional intimacy even more than physical connection. That doesn't mean they don't enjoy physical closeness. It just means that, for many women, emotional connection is what makes the bond truly meaningful. So, if you're in a relationship, don't focus only on physical affection. Ask her how she's feeling, what she's thinking, what she needs, not just from the relationship, but from life. And this isn't just for romantic partners. Emotional intimacy matters in friendships, families, and every kind of connection. As Seneca put it, one of the most beautiful qualities of true friendship is to understand and to be understood. So seek to understand, not to impress, not to solve, just to connect. Understand the women in your life, and you'll build stronger, more meaningful relationships. Fact number 7. Women tend to apologize more, even when they're not at fault. Here's something you might have seen, but didn't think twice about. Women often apologize unnecessarily, even when they haven't done anything wrong. Why? Because many women are conditioned to be peacekeepers. They've been taught to avoid conflict, and saying sorry becomes a reflex, even when it's not needed. But constant apologizing can chip away at self-worth. As someone practicing Stoicism, you value self-respect and inner strength. So if you notice a woman in your life apologizing too often, gently remind her, she doesn't have to encourage her to own her space, speak her mind, and set boundaries. Marcus Aurelius said, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. Help her find that strength, and you'll both grow in the process. Fact number 8. Women are more likely to remember important dates. Ever wonder why women always seem to remember anniversaries, birthdays, and special moments? It's not just good memory, it's because they place deeper emotional value on those dates. To many women, these days aren't just about marking time, they're about honouring connection, meaning, and shared experience. If you're in a relationship, don't shrug off those moments. You don't need to plan something extravagant. Sometimes just remembering and acknowledging the day is enough. As a Stoic, you understand the power of mindfulness and gratitude. So use these opportunities to show appreciation and deepen your bond. Fact number 9. Women are more socially connected. Here's a lesser-known truth. Women are more likely to seek out and maintain social connections. That doesn't make them needy. It means they value community friendship. Family. Belonging. It's not weakness, it's emotional intelligence. As someone who follows Stoic principles, you know that relationships matter. Marcus Aurelius said, "What is good for the hive is good for the bee." So if a woman in your life wants to prioritize time with loved ones, don't view it as a distraction. See it as a model. Strengthen your own circle. Invest in the people who matter. Fact number 10. Women are more likely to express gratitude. Here's something inspiring. Women are statistically more likely to say, "Thank you." They express appreciation more often, whether it's for small acts of kindness or major moments. And that's something we can all learn from. Gratitude isn't just good manners, it's powerful Stoic practice. Seneca said, "Gratitude is not only the greatest of virtues, but the parent of all others." So start simple. Thank the people in your life more often, not just for what they do, but for who they are. It will elevate your relationships and your character. Fact number 11. Women are more likely to trust their intuition. You've heard the phrase, "trust your gut." Turns out, women actually do that more often. And it's not some mystical sixth sense, it's a real cognitive strength. Women's brains tend to process emotional and social cues more intuitively, often picking up on patterns others might miss. Now, as a Stoic, you might lean heavily on logic, and that's a good thing, but don't underestimate the value of instincts. Intuition and reason can work together. Marcus Aurelius once wrote, "The soul becomes dyed with the colour of its thoughts." In other words, the more in tune you are with your inner world, thoughts, feelings, instincts, the more clarity you'll find. The soul becomes dyed with the colour of its thoughts. If your thoughts are grounded in both reason and intuition, you'll make wiser decisions. So next time a woman in your life says, "I just have a feeling about this," don't be so quick to dismiss it. There might be more truth in that instinct than you realise. Fact number 12. Women are more likely to forgive. But not forget. Here's something important. Women often forgive more easily, but that doesn't mean they forget. Thanks to emotional memory, they're more likely to hold on to how something made them feel, even after they've let it go. To a Stoic, forgiveness is essential. Seneca said, "Anger, if not restrained, is frequently more hurtful to us than the injury that provokes it." But remember, an apology isn't a reset button. If you've hurt someone, don't just say sorry and move on. Show her you understand why it hurt and prove through your actions that you've grown from the experience. Forgiveness isn't just about words. It's about rebuilding trust, step by step. Fact number 13. Women seek balance in relationships. Balance matters deeply to women, whether it's between work and home, emotions and logic, or giving and receiving. It's no coincidence that Stoicism also emphasizes balance. The Stoics taught that a good life is one of moderation. of avoiding extremes and staying grounded. So if you're in a relationship, ask yourself, is she feeling overwhelmed? Is the emotional load being shared? Tuning in to that need for balance isn't just being supportive, it's being wise. Marcus Aurelius lived by that principle, and you can too. Fact number 14, women are more comfortable expressing vulnerability. Here's a real strength: vulnerability. Women are often more open about their fears, doubts, and emotions, not because they're weak, but because they trust. Vulnerability creates connection. And while Stoicism encourages emotional resilience, it doesn't mean bottling everything up. Epictetus said, "It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters." Reacting with openness instead of defensiveness creates space for real connection. So, when a woman opens up to you, meet her there. It might be the most courageous and stoic thing you do. Fact number 15, women prioritize emotional safety. Emotional safety isn't optional, it's foundational. Women want to feel they can speak freely without fear of being judged, dismissed, or misunderstood. Stoicism teaches us to create calm within ourselves, but it also challenges us to be steady and open for others. To build trust, give her your full presence. Don't interrupt. Don't minimize. Just listen. Because when someone feels emotionally safe with you, the relationship naturally deepens. Fact number 16. Women value communication over silence. You've heard it. Silence is golden. But for many women, communication is gold. They're more likely to talk through problems, share their joys, and process emotions out loud. That's not being dramatic, it's how they connect. You might lean toward keeping things in, and that's fine. Even Marcus Aurelius wrote to himself to make sense of the world. But sharing your thoughts out loud can strengthen a bond in ways silence never could. So when a woman in your life wants to talk, don't retreat. Engage. It's not a debate. It's a bridge. Communication isn't a chore. It's a bridge. And without it, even the strongest connections can fade into misunderstanding. Fact number 17. Women tend to notice the little things. Ever wonder how she catches things you completely missed? That's because women are often more attuned to subtle details, whether it's a shift in your tone, a look on your face, or a tiny change in the room. But it's not just about being observant. It's about caring. As a Stoic, mindfulness matters. So when she picks up on something you didn't, don't brush it off. See it as a gentle reminder to be more present in your own life. Fact number 18. Women seek meaning in their experiences. Women often reflect deeply on conversations, relationships, and life events, looking for meaning and connection. That's not overthinking, that's wisdom. Stoicism is rooted in the same practice, asking what matters, why we're here, and how to live well. So if she's trying to make sense of something, join her. Ask questions, share reflections, create meaning together. Because meaning isn't something you stumble upon, it's something you build. Fact the Fibrous 19, emotional connection, material gifts. Here's a powerful truth. Most women care more about the bond you share than the gifts you give. Sure, a thoughtful present is nice, but what truly matters is how seen and valued she feels. As a Stoic, you know material things come and go, but relationships, they leave a lasting mark. So if you want to show her you care, don't just buy something. Be present. Talk, laugh, listen, connect. That's the gift that keeps giving. Fact, soprasunti. Women are often more empathetic. Listeners, empathy is a quiet superpower, and women tend to lean into it. They'll listen closely, feel what you feel, and offer support without trying to fix you. And while Stoicism is about self-discipline, it also teaches compassion. So if a woman in your life listens with her whole heart, appreciate it. And if you want stronger connections, try listening with empathy too. Sometimes just being heard is all someone needs. Fact number 21. Women are more likely to seek long-term commitment. Women often prioritize stability and depth in relationships, not just romantic ones, but friendships and family ties too. It's not about being clingy, it's about wanting something that lasts. Stoicism values commitment, not just in love, but in how we show up for others. So if she's looking for something real, don't be afraid of that. It's not a burden, it's a foundation. Fact number 22. Women express affection through words. Words matter, and many women use them to show love through compliments, encouragement, or a simple "I love you." You might be someone who prefers to show love through actions, and that's valuable, but don't underestimate the power of saying it out loud. A few heartfelt words can strengthen a relationship more than you realize. Even a simple "I appreciate you" goes a long way. Fact number 23. Women often seek emotional validation. When she shares her feelings, she's not always asking for a fix. She's asking to be seen. Emotional validation means hearing her out, acknowledging her feelings, and resisting the urge to jump straight into solutions. As a Stoic, your instinct might be to solve problems, but sometimes the wisest thing you can do is say, "That makes sense, I hear you." Understanding doesn't mean agreeing. It means caring enough to listen. First. Fact number 24. Women are often influenced by their social circles. Women are generally more influenced by the people they care about, friends, family, co-workers, but that's not a weakness. It's a reflection of how much they value connection and trust. As a Stoic, you know the power of surrounding yourself with good influences. So when a woman in your life turns to others for input, don't see it as dependency. See it as wisdom. She's seeking perspective, not permission. Fact number 25. Women value emotional honesty. Emotional honesty matters. Many women want to know how you truly feel. Not just surface-level updates, but real openness. Stoicism emphasizes truth and integrity. So when she asks for honesty, don't dodge the moment. Be clear, be kind, and be real. Because trust grows in truth, and strong relationships grow in trust. Fact number 26. Women often pursue personal growth. Self-improvement isn't a trend, it's a priority. Women often seek growth through learning, therapy, challenges, and change. That pursuit aligns beautifully with Stoic philosophy, which is all about becoming the best version of yourself. So, when she's focused on her growth, support it and let it inspire you to look inward. 2. Growth is contagious. Be part of it. Fact number 27. Women tend to value quality over quantity, whether it's friendships, time, or experiences. Many women care more about depth than volume. And isn't that the essence of Stoicism, to value what's essential and let go of the rest? If a woman in your life is choosing meaning over excess, don't question it. Learn from it. Life isn't about having more. It's about cherishing what truly matters. Fact number 28. Women often seek emotional closure. Closure is about peace, not control. Many women want to talk things through, understand what went wrong, and move forward with clarity. As a Stoic, you know how much weight unresolved emotions can carry. So if she's looking for closure, meet her there. Be open, be honest, be present. It's not about winning, it's about healing. Fact number 29. Women often inspire the people around them. Whether through resilience, empathy, or quiet strength, women have a remarkable ability to uplift others. Stoicism teaches us to admire and learn from virtue wherever we find it. So if a woman in your life inspires you, say so. Appreciation is powerful, and sharing it strengthens your bond. And here's the most important truth. Women, just like men, are human beings with thoughts, dreams, doubts, and strength all their own. It's easy to reduce people to generalizations. But as a Stoic, your goal isn't to figure people out like puzzles. It's to understand them as individuals. That's how you build real relationships. That's how you grow as a person. What did we learn today? We explored 29 psychological truths about women, from emotional insight to connection and growth. But more importantly, we saw how these truths reflect timeless Stoic values: compassion, clarity, and self-awareness. No matter who you are, these insights can help you create deeper, more mindful relationships. Stoicism isn't about suppressing emotion. It's about understanding it and using that understanding to live with wisdom and purpose. If this resonated with you, hit subscribe and check out the next video. You're not going to want to miss what's coming next.